Hey guys, Raiden here, and thank you for 2,000 of you pushing that red button because you felt that my content is good enough to have a little notification pop up in the corner of your phone whenever you're doing whatever, and you see it and you go, hey, that guy makes good videos, I almost forgot. But anyways, thank you so very much. It's been quite the journey here. It's been 4 months, about 5 months almost now, since I've had actual viewers, I should say. But yeah, it's been pretty fun. It's been kind of worrying and troublesome, and it has its ups and downs. There's a point there when we just stagnated for like a month, but luckily I'm extremely stubborn, and I never like giving up on anything that I do care about. So anyways, I wanted to answer some of your questions or comments or things for this video too. It's not like the Q&A where I prompted people for questions, except on Twitter, which if you want to see whatever I'm doing, just go there. A lot of these are just questions or comments that I picked up randomly that I liked or disliked or other things like that. If yours didn't show up, I probably said something about it then forgot about it, or I just didn't get to it. So without further ado, let's get started at reading these. Marcos1903 says, gotta love these 40-minute to 1-hour videos. I always look forward to your uploads. Thank you very much, Marcos. It's very nice to know that you look forward to them. I can't say I could have ever imagined people looking forward to any of my uploads ever, but hey, I have a lot more confidence now. Anyways, yeah, it was such a weird transition in which I didn't have anyone explicitly saying, could you make these videos shorter? But I knew it'd probably be better in the long run, but honestly, it doesn't seem like it is. I'm getting more downsides than upsides. On the downsides I have a lot less thumbnail material. As you noticed, I had that one thumbnail from Apollo Justice, and it was just Apollo's finger, and you guys totally called me out on that. I'm like, whoops, nope, I don't know what you're talking about. This is legit. This is a new character. Yeah, it just seems to flow a lot better, and we get through games more quickly when I make them an hour long, instead of being 40 or so minutes. I know 40 or so minutes is probably more watchable for some of you. Very few of you, it appears, almost. But hour-long videos just help me get through the game faster, help me get to the next series. They make it a lot more coherent instead of having to cut it off because it's just getting too long, rather than ending it somewhere that makes sense. I just enjoy the format more, so I'm sorry if those video formats are too long for you. I've been going back to that with Ace Attorney, but usually the first episodes are a little shorter. Solar Sonic says 1909, which is a timestamp. How did you? And then Solzer going, I know, right? How does he do that? I found this extremely funny just because I go around all the time and I just guess what's going to happen next in the plot. And you guys said apparently in Path of Radiance, half the time I was guessing the plot of Radiant Dawn. So I'm guessing that's what this is about. I'm not too sure on what, but it happens in quite a few of the games I play. And that's why I like those types of games that really make me think a lot about the plot. That's why I love Danganronpa and Ace Attorney. Games where you really have to pay attention to understand what's going on and see what the characters are doing and pay attention to their attitudes and things like that. I just absolutely love those games that are heavily story-based. Here's one that is extremely hard to read from this, but it's from Jello Bell, and basically, instead of reading this whole thing, he asks, you didn't really talk about the ending of Gravity Rush much. Can you talk about it here? So yeah, I'll give a spoiler-free analysis of it. If you're that worried, you can skip past. I'll have some sort of thumbnail or timestamp or whatever in the corner. What's it called? An annotation. There we go. Yes. Basically, there's not a whole lot to say, and that's why I didn't talk about it. The ending was very abrupt and was obviously trying to build up to a sequel. The game really didn't teach you that much in the end. There wasn't really that many things that blew my mind in that game. I love the game, and I love the art style and the music and everything. The aesthetic was the most impressive to me, but story-wise or plot things happening, nothing stood out to me. It was just like, this is the part where Kat takes this bad guy out. This is the part where Kat gets betrayed by this guy, and it's so bland to me, at least, what happened in the story. I do really like the character designs and their attitudes and how they interact with each other, but as far as the story goes, it didn't really develop much, and I don't know where it's going from here, honestly. So we'll just see in Gravity Rush 2. Lisa Sermon says, get Gaiden and play Radiant Dawn. Just joking, play whatever you want. Thank you. I know you guys are always really... I joke about you guys asking for Fire Emblem a lot, which you guys really don't that much. But you guys don't really put all that much pressure on me or anything. And you guys seem to think you do, but you really don't. And I do want to play Echoes on the channel eventually. It probably won't be for a while, a very long while, because capture card stuff in the way, and then I still want to play Radiant Dawn. And, yeah, thank you for supporting me and playing whatever I want, because that means that you're also here for my commentary, not just whatever game I'm playing. Luke Ilton, there we go, that's a name. I don't know if it's too late, but if you could live in any game world, what would it be? The answer to that would be Final Fantasy XIV. And the reason I was the reason I was able to get that answer out so quickly is because in that world, I don't play that game much anymore. Ever since I started doing YouTube, like, a bit more than, I don't know, once a week and just skipping days a whole ton. But in that world, there's a ton of jobs and things you can do, and there seems to be a market for just about anyone who wants to do something in that world. Whether you're a crafter, you want to go out and kill things, I think that's my ideal world, is honestly not a world with world peace or anything like that, just a world where anyone can do what they want, and they can make a living off of it. And that's a bit vague and a bit loosely ruled, but a lot of the time it feels like in wherever you live, or wherever things are happening outside of video games, it seems like occupations are a bit restricted to mathematical and science-based jobs. And due to that, a lot of people are just thrown off, I shouldn't say thrown out, they're just thrown off as to what to do for so long, because everything that they love doing or everything that they're good at seems kind of useless. Richard Manoia says, what is this love triangle you're trying to form between Clavier, the Judge, and Apollo? What do you mean I'm trying to form? It was there before I got there, trust me. It's been like that the whole time. You just haven't been paying enough attention. Nosferatu Berserker says, Berserk Warriors is going to be the only Warriors game I'll play. And this is in my response to talking about Fire Emblem Warriors or Fire Emblem Muso. And I agree. Berserk Warriors, the reason I changed my mind on that as opposed to the other games is because it's the only way I could imagine a Berserk game being made. There was the one for the PS2, which was really, really difficult. And I don't know, I feel like this is the only way it could be done, with hordes of enemies everywhere, and Guts still being slow but swinging his sword around, and all the other characters. It looks good. I'm excited. Chillweister, sorry if I get your names wrong, it's a bit hard to see with the blue font and some of these words being so far away. It says, great vid, Xeno, are you going to do Radiant Dawn, and if so, when? No pressure, I love this playthrough, but I was just wondering. Once again, you guys are really, really kind. There's no pressure on me at all. But yes, I am. I'm probably going to do it around the release time of Echoes, and the reason I'm waiting so long is because Radiant Dawn is the longest Fire Emblem game in Fire Emblem. I looked it up on how long to beat, and it's almost another third the length of Path of Radiance. And the thing with Fire Emblem games is I can't format it like I do with Apollo Justice or like I did any other game I do, because it's so hard to cut out combat when combat is 80% of the content, and it ends up becoming a really slow episode in which there's just gaps and spaces where I don't say anything, and I'm also extremely slow with the game, so it doesn't help. And I don't know, it's a bit frustrating to edit Fire Emblem videos. It's not like it's frustrating to play them, it's just they take so long to do, and then after all is done, there's a lot of just blank space and silence and me sitting there, and then the fun part is when I get to read dialogue. So it's such a weird place for me, but I do want to start that probably around when Echoes releases. SGK Bullet says, I just wish Scalebound wasn't cancelled. Rest in peace. Yeah, it sucks that Scalebound was cancelled. It's being made by my favorite developers, Platinum. But on the bright side, in my case, I can't really say this, and I doubt it would have affected the development cycle much at all anyways, but at least maybe that means that they put more things towards Nier, saying, hey, we really need to touch up on Nier and we can't afford to do these projects right now. I know they're also working on something for Grand Blue Fantasy. I still have no idea what that is. I think it's a mobile game or something. And they're trying to do their own thing with it, which is interesting, because I've seen art books and soundtracks for that mobile game, and they're pretty good. Investigator Crazin, I know who you are. What is your favorite Fire Emblem weapon? If I had to pick a favorite Fire Emblem weapon, it's probably one from a game I didn't even play, but I've seen the artwork for in Awakening and have a friend gush to me about several times. It's Mistletoe, or however you're supposed to say that. The design on it is just so interesting, and how I hear it keeps popping up over and over again in the story is also quite interesting. I really like the color scheme. I like the fact that the guard is like wrapped up in bandages. I like how it just looks like it's not supposed to be there. Like it's made out of some odd material that you couldn't exactly show to a blacksmith and be like, hey, what's this made out of? And he'll just go, I don't know, what is this? I just really like that weapon's design. Right, Jinto's also pretty cool, because just lightning katana. Stefan's vague Kati? Just because Stefan uses it? That's really the only real reason. Shimmy Jamili. Am I getting that right? I'm sorry, once again, it's so far away from my face. Are you able to monetize videos? Oh, this is on the, this is on when I was talking about echoes. Are you able to monetize videos? If so, maybe use that to get a 3DS capture card. I really enjoy your videos. But anyways, you should do a little video about yourself if you haven't already. Who's this mystery guy behind the video? Dun dun dun. So, I agree with you on almost every single point except for one. Am I able to monetize my videos? Yes, and I do. And I hope that doesn't get too annoying, but I like to also, you know, profit by 1 cent a day. That's not the real rate, but it's not as much as you guys would think. Realistically, if I didn't count growth and if I just use the money I make like a month now, I probably wouldn't even be able to get a 3DS capture card in 4 years if I just use that money. So I probably will end up doing a fundraising stream or something way in the future, if I can even do that by then, or something like that. I don't know. It's such a weird, touchy spot for me, but it's nothing that's a priority. I have tons of things I can do or play in the meantime that I've wanted to do forever. Also, you said I should do a video about myself if I haven't already. Here's the thing. I do want to do a video with my face in it. I do want to do a video with a face cam in it so you guys can see what I look like. 2 people have already done art for me, and they don't even know what my face looks like. They've just gone off my profile icon, which is nuts. And they got it pretty accurately too, which is freaking fantastic. Thank you for that, by the way, those of you who did that. It's amazing. One, I'm kind of camera shy, and I'm not really comfortable with the whole camera to face thing. I don't know. I'm a little weird about that. I'll probably do it around like the 5K mark, as I was saying, just so I can get adjusted with the idea of it. And secondly, I can't find my webcam anywhere. I know I have it somewhere, I just have to find it. Or else I probably would have done it for this video even. But thank you, I'm glad you enjoy my content. Sig Greaves said, will you be playing any Japan-exclusive Fire Emblem games for Let's Plays, i.e. Genealogy or Binding Blade? No, I won't be. I won't go through games I've already played. If they do remake Genealogy the Holy War, though, maybe? Yeah, it's always a possibility. I'm just not a fan of going back to older games past 6 or playing games that I've played before. Derpy Cats with Coffee. I also love your picture of the person from Danganronpa 3. That anime confused me thoroughly, and I can't wait to play V3, by the way. Have you played Valkyria Chronicles? And if you haven't, then I would definitely recommend it to you. It's a strategy RPG similar to Fire Emblem with interesting characters. I have, actually. I played it when it released so many years ago, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. There is supposed to be a spin-off game called Azure Revolution or whatever, and I don't know how that's going to play out. It looks pretty interesting, but the system's changed so much, so I don't know how it's going to turn out or how anything's going to feel. But maybe. That one. Speaking of Danganronpa, the Blue Cyclone says it's an ahoge, by the way. Ho Santa Gay Niles. How could you forget about it after Naegi and Hajime? I know, how did I forget about it? I don't know, that bothers me. It's such a big part of that weird fandom for Danganronpa, now that you guys are weird. We're all weird, though. But yeah, if you guys have not played Danganronpa yet, and I'm gonna do a series on V3, definitely, take some time to check out 1 and 2. If you like Ace Attorney or, Zero Escape, I guess is something similar, then you'll probably like Danganronpa. Woo. It's kind of scary going out there since I know so many people are gonna be playing that game on launch day. There's also Persona 5 coming out really soon, and I don't know, that's such a long game too. There's so much to think about. I love so many series. The only thing I'm sure on right now is that there's going to be a Radiant Dawn in the future. There's going to be Nier Automata as a series when that comes out, or whenever it gets to my house, actually. And there's going to be Ace Attorney continuing with investigations at some point, if not immediately, because I'm really enjoying Apollo Justice. Amygdala, I love that freaking contrast between what your name is in the picture. That's amazing. You ever played through the Kingdom Hearts games? I played through all of them, except for Kingdom Hearts 3D, which I am playing on my PlayStation 4 through 2.8. Don't push yourself. by Clues. I know I've answered your question before. I know the two questions I remember I answered before were from Clues and Oswald. I remember you too. But this isn't even a question. But basically, I do talk about how I have medical problems. And don't worry, none of them are fatal or anything like that. But it does put me in a lot of pain, and I'm in a very unique circumstance that makes things very hard to do sometimes. And not a lot of people have to deal with this. So sometimes it takes a bit longer to make a video, and it becomes frustrating to do anything, really. But I'm a very positive person, and I try to have as much willpower and positivity as I can to get me through things. So thank you very much for your consideration. You guys are really kind. San Von Doorslayer. Don't hate on my boy Brushel just because he's ugly. I don't hate on him because he's ugly. I hate on him because he's Satan spawn. Luke Refit says, Xeno, you said that you think children are creepy, but do you think a contortionist child is creepy? Because I am one. I think all children are creepy, without exception. All they do is they're born into the world, and there's two things that immediately are wrong. One, they could shape up to be a serial killer or just a family man for all you know. You don't know what they're going to turn into. And two, from the age like 1 to 13, it's a constant race of... No, not even 1 to 13. I'd probably bet it's like 1 to 16. It's probably a constant race of, oh my goodness, how many ways is this thing going to think of killing itself? I have to stop this thing from dying. I have to stop it from dropping a toaster in a bathtub or something like that. Like... Don't do that. Never do that, by the way. Never drop a toaster in a bathtub. Ever. I shouldn't have to say that, but just don't. You don't know what they're going to do, and that's the scariest part about them, is that you may be responsible for them, and they could turn out to be anything, or mess up something at any time. Cass. Are you ever going to do code commentary? Because you yourself are funny, and if you had another person to talk to, maybe even more. I did do co-commentary when I started the channel. Those people kind of just waned on interest, and I started doing it by myself. And I found solo commentary, especially for the things I do, especially now with the voices and stuff, it flows a lot better. And I wouldn't be willing to do co-commentary. I like working on things by myself and knowing I did something by myself. I would be willing to do like a collaboration, but I think all the people that I would resonate well with or I'd want to do collaborations with are big enough to the point that they will never ever pay attention to this channel. But it's still fun to dream that, hey, maybe one day I could work with some of those people that I think are pretty cool on YouTube, and I could work with them. Especially a few that you guys have compared me to quite a bit. I looked several of them up, and some of them are really, really cool people, and they've actually given me some advice. Mikey Surgeon says give a chance to FE4 or 5, which means Fire Emblem, by the way. But not for LP, just for yourself. I have. I've been playing FE4, just a few levels whenever I get the chance. I bet I'll finish the game over like 2 years of me getting bored every once in a while and pulling open my phone and being like, time to emulate this game, and then I play it for a little bit. It's interesting. It's definitely very graphically different. Andrew Campus says, once you complete this game, are you going to play Gravity Rush 2? I am going to play Gravity Rush 2. Not immediately, because it's $60 right now, and I just finished Gravity Rush 1, even though it's only 11 episodes. But it's definitely on the list of things I want to do, because I want to see how that story ends. Your laugh sounds like Nagito. Does it? Does it sound like Nagito? In a pipe house. Oh no, I pushed the wrong one. Well, now I'm uncomfortable for more than one reason about my laugh. Good job, viewer. Anyways, thank you guys again for helping me reach 2,000. It's been a lot of hard work getting here, and my goal of reaching 10,000 by the end of the year is very tremendous, and I know a lot of people can grow faster than me depending on the games they play, especially since I play these weird niche ones that are just so hard to get people on board for. But I think we can do it. Maybe. It's a little stretching the goal of having 10,000, especially at the rate we're growing. I never know what's going to happen. It would take some sort of burst in viewers or something like that for that to ever happen. But hey, I can dream, and I can just keep working my hardest and producing the best I can. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video, which should be up tomorrow, probably. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Raiden out.